gotta get a nice sound bite. Was that a good sound compared to that bottle is cold compared to a can opening? I'm making my drink right now. I have truly flavored vodka, white peach, and then some sugar-free lemonade because girl is sugar-free with the lemonade.
This thing is good. This white peach. Oh, here we go. ASMR.
It's not even close to the thing. Okay. Lyrica opened her drink before we could get the sound bite, so I have now made my drink. Sorry, I'll hit you in the butt. Let me put my drink back in the freezer. Okay, I need a straw.
I was thinking spoon, and I was like, wait.
No, I need a straw. Because I'm bougie, and we have metal straws, so you guys can, to finish this ASMR.
Oh. I do not like that noise.
It was this rubbing up on it against each other. Okay.
Did not like that sound.
I don't know. Let me get a tissue coaster.
Tissue coaster.
I don't know what episode we're on. I did not take notes. I'm guessing 10 or 9. Let's check. Let's see who can get there faster.
Probably you. Because I have to go on my subscriptions.
Why don't you just search it up on YouTube?
Because it's already in my subscriptions. 9.
9.
Haha, I did beat you.
No, you didn't. I just was, you were talking, so I couldn't think. Okay, so episode 9. I'm not wearing long pants. This is gonna hurt my legs.
Oh, yeah.
These chairs hurt my legs for long periods of time if I don't have long pants on. Update, I have a new tattoo.
It's funny to tell them that because they've if you don't know,
yeah,
they just have no
clue. I already have one tattoo on my left forearm.
They probably never knew that.
Oh yeah, I have 2 tattoos now. I had one on my left forearm, and then now I have one on my right, side forearm, and it's for my family, and it looks really cool. It's so fucking itchy. I got it last Saturday. Yeah, I got it last Saturday.
I can't believe this week's already over.
Yeah.
Almost.
Legit. I actually thought part of it was infected. See that part right there? Mm. It looks a little red. I thought it was infected. It was redder. It was more red earlier, but I think what happened was I might have hit it too hard in that part and I irritated it, or it's just a little bruised from the tattoo and it's just delayed. But it looks really cool. It's itchy as all hell, but I love it. That was my weekend. I got yelled at yesterday. We record these on Wednesdays, but today is Thursday because I got yelled at by a parent at work yesterday, and I get yelled at a good amount of time. Mm-hmm. Thought I was good, and then one of my coworkers, who's the nurse case manager, she's like, "Tessa, you did really well. I'm like, you did so well," and was complimenting me, and then I just started crying, and she's like, "Well, she was in her cubicle, and her cubicle is a little bit away from me." And none of the nurses were really there. I think they're all in clinic. So she was like, "You did really, really well. Good job. You know, it was probably a tough one, but you did well." And then on her end, she just heard nothing. So she's like, "Is she okay?" And so she kept saying, "Are you okay?" And I didn't reply. So she walked over and all she saw was, you guys can't see, but it was me, my hands buried on my face, covering my face and just bawling my eyes out at my cubicle. And she was just like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I was rubbing my back and like, "I'm so sorry. It's okay. It sucks and you get the brunt of it. So it sucks." So when I got home, I was tired and I just didn't want to talk to anyone. I didn't want to talk. No offense to you. I just was like, I don't want to talk to anyone. But luckily today I feel a bit better. Not 100%, but this alcohol tastes good, so.
I do not like that one. Yeah, we love assholes.
I don't want to say she's an asshole, because I get it. She's a parent. She's scared and everything. But I told her, I'm not a nurse. I can't do anything.
Well, that's what
except do what I can.
People will take it out on the first person they see when the first person they see is not the person who can actually do anything for them. So, I get being frustrated, But, like, going off on somebody that literally can't do anything for you, it's like,
yeah.
What's the purpose of that? Like,
yeah. And, like, the parent was like, I'm getting really frustrated. I don't think it was a threat. It was more like, I'm going to go to Boys Town because they're 10 times better from what I've heard. And, I don't want to be mean and anything. So I was trying to play it off being like, okay, well, if you do choose to go down that route of going to Boys Town, reach out to us. We can get you a referral. So it's 10 times easier getting into Boys Town. Just let us know when you want to, if you decide to transfer over to Boys Town. But in that moment, I was like, I'm about to cry. I don't know, I'm about to cry. Because I thought I was putting it all on myself, being like, I'm going to make this family go to a different clinic. It's my fault that we're losing, not a customer, but losing a patient. Mm-hmm. And so I put that on to me, even though I know it's not my fault. Because I don't have control over providers. I don't have control over nurses. And I don't have control over the, labs, results, orders. I don't have control over any of that. I'm just basically the liaison to pass it on to the people that can do something. And what really sucks is if it's not urgent, I can't send it as urgent. Mm-hmm. And we have strict, not rules, but guidelines of what is urgent and what is not, what needs to be put at the top of the list and what isn't. And, it was important, but it wasn't one of those urgent needs, like right away and such. But I could tell she was really frustrated. Now with a clear mind, I get it, I understand. And I don't think she's inherently a bad person. It's just she was a very frustrated person. And she took it out in the wrong way. But all of us do that. When we're super frustrated at something, we blow up. And, maybe she regrets it. That's what makes me keep going is, maybe deep down she really, really regrets being that way. Yeah. And that makes me keep powering on. And it helps me try to realize my emotions when I'm really frustrated. Try not to do that because now I know how it feels to do that. And, it's just a nice thing to do. Don't be mean or rude to somebody because you're frustrated, but you can't always control your emotions. Yeah. So, I think this was just the most blatant. They were upset and being mean to me. Mm-hmm. Well, some of them were upset in general, but not really aimed to me per se. So, I'm doing better now. I was really, really sad yesterday, and it was right when I was getting off too. So I was sad when I got home. Lyrica made me feel better by tickling my arm.
That sounds funny because they're not
funny. Well, she has really, really long nails, and so she drags them on my arm or my leg sometimes, or my back.
I like to call them scratchies.
Scratchies. My family calls them tickles.
So I'll be like, Mom, give me hand scratchies.
Mm-hmm. And my mom and my grandma would do them when I was very anxious. So, and I think my grandma also did it when I was sad. I was missing home because I would be with them in Lincoln, away from my family. So, she would do it when I was feeling homesick and always made me feel better. So you remind me of my grandma and my mom. My mom does them too, but my grandma does it best because she has the fake nails and you have fake nails. So you're in the league with my grandma. You're welcome. You don't do it right. It's
I've seen.
Well, no, I don't like them when they're sharp. It's just when they're long. They just feel better. But she also had square. I don't know if she still has them, but I think she does. Square fake nails, and they're the press-ons, not the actual acrylic, because my grandma's grandma and doesn't want to go get her acrylics done. So that's fine. But that was my week. Everything else was not really eventful besides tattoo and crying, so. I think. We also
tattoo and crying.
Yeah, we also went to a little carnival fair thing that happened in our town. Lyrica and her sibling came with me to get my tattoo done. Thank you, by the way. It really helped. It helped me anxiety-wise and it helped me pain-wise because it was painful. It hurt, but I wasn't really paying attention to it because you guys distracted me. And our tattoo artist was just fucking awesome. So we really got along, and she helped distract me and everything. So, we went to a fair thing. I was dad and mom.
Yeah, because we rode rides and.
I didn't want to risk it with the tattoo because I had to wear a bandage. I didn't really want to risk it going onto a ride that moves and maybe the wind flips it off and I have nothing to protect it. Plus I don't think I had enough cash. I think I was like a few dollars short. So I was like, oh, well, it's fine. I'll just do videos and such. I used to do that anyways with my brothers too. So it was fun. We didn't get any fucking food though. I wanted fair food. We need to go to the Lancaster. When is that? Did it already pass?
No, it's the very beginning of August. We can
we go?
Yeah. We can bring a whole group because Cal wants to go, DJ wants to go, and then you want to go. We can just go.
I can see if my friend wants to go. My friend who's going to my birthday party that you know of. Mm-hmm. My friend wants to go. So, actually, Chelsea, my coworker, she got tarot cards, and so she brought them to work. And I was like, "Oh my god, can you read?" I have tarot cards.
You should do a reading for me, even though you don't.
I'll do it. I'll have to search up the meanings. I don't have a book like Chelsea did. But she did my tarot card reading. It was past, present. She did 2. One was the one question, and then you answer the one question with one card, and then the 3 draw, where it was past, present, and future. And so with the present one, it says, she said roughly with the card that I got was, don't look past relationships, go back and see how you feel. And I went, oh my god, my friend, we had a thing and now we're hanging out again. Maybe, but I have tarot cards. I can read you tonight if you want. I just have to Google the cards because I don't have a book. I need a book, but I haven't been able to go to the Wicca shop. That's in Papillion. I've been avoiding Papillion.
Yeah.
I don't want to go there. Just in case I see a stupid Alaska plate. I don't want it.
At least you'll be able to notice really well with it being Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
That's one that's for sure. Right away.
Yep.
And you can scan down too.
See if he's fucking happy. Hope he's not. He doesn't even know I got a tattoo. I didn't post it on Snapchat. He doesn't have Snapchat. I didn't post it on Instagram. So I'm a brand new person. Yeah. You don't know who I am. I'm hiding behind the tattoo.
I don't know who you are.
But yeah, how was your week? Oh, by the way, I'm Tessa. That's Lyrica.
Yeah. Indeed.
Welcome to episode 9. We're so bad.
We are. We forget every time. My week was okay. It went by quickly, even though I feel like I've done nothing.
Yeah.
Like, this week flew by. I was like, wow, it's almost done already. It was perfect because I'm so sick of working.
We need good vibes, by the way. Anyone who's listening, we need good vibes. Lyrica is applying to a job, hopefully, a new position within the company, the hospital she's working in. So,
and I got rejected, but then my boss came in and she was like, I'm not okay with that. And
it might be, well, you said there's a second one too that you're thinking about.
Yeah, that one she said might be harder because it's actually specialties. So, but she was like, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. And she had me send the email that I got, because the email I got wasn't even from anybody. It's like the automatic one that says, like, we're moving forward with other clients. And it came from clients, people. Applicants. And it came from Workday, because that's where you apply for internal positions. And so she had me email that to the director of patient financial services, where that job is.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard anything since then. But yeah, my boss she's got my back.
Yeah. So good vibes. We need good vibes. Yeah. Lyrica, we'll get a position.
Please, I need to be done with this job. It's so tedious. It drives me crazy.
Is it more tedious than the DHHS?
I actually am missing DHHS because that job actually went by quicker because I had constant things to do.
Mm-hmm.
And there was always something different going on. Like I had to answer emails, I had to answer phone calls, I had to do applications, and I was getting really into like helping everybody. But this job is just the absolute same things every day with a few random things thrown in.
Well, you can do it. If it doesn't open up here, would you be able to stick it out for another year? Because children's always hiring.
Well, I have to be there for another year, so no matter what, I'm going to be there.
Well, that's why I said another year for school. But
we'll see.
My mom said they're always hiring.
I'm going to keep applying for things in the meantime within my current job because I need that tuition.
Yeah, but if you don't and you graduate, Lyrica, come work with me. We can use Teams and talk to each other throughout the day.
Maybe I'll just leave early and be like, I'll just take out more loans because I might as well be in more debt.
I say just stick with it. Yeah, you'll
so annoying.
Well, maybe you can talk to your boss and see if there's other things you can do too.
Like today was my day all alone because Cindy, that's fake, but she went on vacation. My boss wasn't there. I'm just in my little corner by myself all day, and it's very lonely.
Man,
no one talks.
I would switch with you. I like the people I talk to, but sometimes I just don't want to talk to anyone because I'm an introvert. My extrovert battery goes out.
Like people, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like,
and guess what? This bitch went for years saying she's an introvert. Sorry, I'm touching the mic because there's a cat here. This bitch says she was an introvert, but she constantly says she needs to be talking to people.
Yeah.
So therefore, you are not an introvert.
No.
Therefore, you're an extrovert all the way.
Yeah, I just misinterpreted it because in the past I didn't really have friends and I didn't really talk a lot because it was very uncomfortable. So I was like, well, I have to be an introvert then because I don't go out and do
You're
things.
An extrovert with social anxiety.
Yeah. And so then I got friends and then started working like jobs with coworkers, and then I was like, I actually really like talking to people. That's one thing I miss is like I don't have a team. I help other teams, so I'm not a part of anything, really.
You're a part of your boss's team.
Yeah, but like because they're managers and stuff, they're always gone doing something, and so like the closest is financial counselors, but I'm still not a part of them because like they talk about stuff that I don't understand, and so I'm just like the one outlier where before I've been on teams that were like, we all do the same thing, so we can talk and like complain about things together, but now I'm just there and like, but
it'll be good. It'll be fine.
We'll see.
We just think about the money you'll get when you graduate. That will power you through.
It's true, yeah.
Think about that. But shall we proceed to the movie?
We should, because I have a lot to talk about, and I don't want to go over 2 hours because I want to.
Yep. So we're going to be talking about one of Lyrica's sexual awakening movies. Jennifer's Body.
My favorite movie, actually. Like
favorite movie of all time?
It probably is, because I like have favorite Marvel movies, but like I don't rewatch them as much as I rewatch.
Do you watch it only because of the sexual aspect?
No, I actually really like it. I've liked it since I watched it in 6th grade. And
so Jennifer's Body is basically, so this is still part of Pride Month because it has some lesbian tones or bisexual tones.
And it's also a queer cult classic.
Yep. It's now a queer cult classic. The basic stint of it is Jennifer. There's Jennifer and I always forget her. Is it Letty or Nettie?
Needy.
Not even close.
Anita, but
Needy.
Her nickname is Needy, and that's what you hear.
Gotcha.
Called.
So Jennifer and Needy, and they're best friends. They're two very different people.
Yeah.
Like Needy's introverted. Jennifer is very popular, even though she's flag. She's a flag. She's color guard, which isn't even like a thing that you really see as super popular.
Don't have cheerleaders because it's such a small town.
Maybe, or maybe they are the cheerleaders that also do flags. So they're both cheerleaders and color guard.
Yeah, but they're in high school.
High school, and basically they go to a little indie band concert in a bar. Jennifer ends up going with. We'll talk more in detail, but general gist. Jennifer goes with them. She is sacrificed because they think she's a virgin, but she's not, so she becomes a succubi. Or succubus. Succubi is multiple. Succubus. And just starts killing people. Killing men.
Boys.
Yep. She killed 2 boys, then she tried killing Needy's boyfriend, and then...
She killed multiple. There's foreign exchange student.
Oh, yeah.
Colin.
That's 3.
Jonas, and then also, Chip.
Oh, yeah, that's what I said. Needy's boyfriend.
Yeah, she killed 4.
So 4. I forgot about the exchange student.
Yeah,
but,
he was first.
Yeah, he was first to go. And then Needy kills her, but she's bitten, so she still has some of the powers. And in the end, she goes and kills the indie band. But that's the basic gist. So so Lyrica has plenty of time. This is going to be Lyrica-led, most likely. Yeah. Unless you got questions for me.
I have watched this movie on my own. I've watched this in 2 of my film classes. One was the Why Do Women Love Horror Films? And we were also watching it in my last film class, which I don't remember.
If you hear slapping, I'm itching.
I don't remember what that one's theme was, because COVID happened and just everything went to shit and we just all stopped caring about class. So I really don't remember the theme very much, because we were 2 months into the class, 2.5, and then COVID was bye everyone, and so so I watched this movie when I was in 6th grade at a slumber party, and I remember distinctly being in 6th grade, and I really wanted to see this movie in theaters. I remember seeing it, the trailer, and I didn't really know, I don't know why I was so enthralled by it, the trailer. I was I have to see this movie. And then my mom asked...
You were a little gay.
My mom asked my dad, and my dad was no, I'm not taking her to that. And so my mom never really had money to take us to the movies back then. So I waited for it to come out on DVD, and we watched it at the slumber party, and I was I like this movie. And so since then...
why.
I purchased it. I've shown everybody that I know it, because I just love this movie. I was going to write...
She showed it to me?
Yeah. I was going to write my final film paper ever in college before COVID made everything not happen, because my teacher was literally just send me an idea. I don't care. That's it. We're done. So,
nice.
All right, cool. So I actually went back for my notes, and I looked back at our conversations via email. And so I grabbed a few of my thoughts from that, and I remember having a really deep discussion after class with her, because I always had this thing with this movie that I kind of loved the aspect of Jennifer being the predator, a woman being the predator and the killer. I was something a visceral reaction to that, oh my gosh, she's the one killing guys, it's not guys killing girls. And so I really like that, and my film teacher or professor and I talked about that, and it's just one of my favorites that I rewatch constantly. I rewatched it again for my notes too, because I just wanted to watch it with you, and so I went back and took detailed notes, so I have an idea of what I want. But my favorite thing is my first quote is just, "Hell is a teenage girl."
I didn't even read that. I was just facing off.
Because, one thing that I really like about this movie is it is about female friendships, female sexuality, female perspective. That's everything that this movie encompasses. which is crazy because it was marketed. One of the famous things about it is it was marketed for teenage boys to be like, oh, you know Megan Fox from Transformers and how hot she is. Mm-hmm. Don't you want to watch her be like super sexual in this movie, young teenage boys? It's a horror movie plus, you know, really like sexual and sexy actress and female. Well, Megan Fox is not really like that, or like in the past that was not her thing. She just got pushed into being a sex
Michael
symbol.
Bay.
Yeah, and she really felt uncomfortable with it. So yeah, they were trying to sell this movie based off of that, and the movie is actually directed by a woman. It's written by a woman. So you have these women filmmakers who are making a movie about women, but then marketing and businessmen being like, no, this movie we're going to actually show to the teenage boys, so we need all the marketing around this to be aimed towards them, when really the movie is not aimed towards them at all. It's aimed to like teenage girls or women in general, and I find that very interesting to see that shift between like marketing compared to the actual story the female director and writer were trying to convey. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's one of the big points. And there was one thing where the writer even brought it up and was like, can we address this tagline, because on the poster it says Jennifer's got a taste for bad boys or something like that. Mm-hmm. And she's like, that's not really like selling what the movie is. And the marketing person or business guy came back and he just like put like Jennifer is hot, she will steal your boyfriend. Like that's all he wanted to boil it down to, which is not even about that. And I remember being in my film class.
It should have been eat your boyfriend. Yeah. That would have been funny. That would have been good.
But I remember watching this in my film class, and me and my professor had a talk about how there was a sort of discomfort with the men in the audience, that they were like not very comfortable with watching the movie, when the women like in the audience, we were like very...
Oh, the turntables have...
Yeah, because we're essentially, the movie's putting them in the position of all things women and women perspective. It's not for the male gaze. It's not from the male gaze. It's women centered, and it's about things that, you know, guys may not be able to like put themselves into, like female friendships, female sexuality, just because of how different, you know, the genders kind of operate, at least in like, you know, experiences. So one of my main points is the toxic female friendships, but also there's a little bit of bisexuality, maybe homosexuality going on.
I think definitely bisexuality, because Needy likes her boyfriend, and Jennifer also likes guys. She lost her virginities to men, but it seems like she also likes Needy. Or she's just really jealous of Needy.
Yeah, that's one
But
thing.
also, why would you kiss Needy if you're jealous of Needy?
Yeah, there's a lot like going on that I kind of talked about, because one of the things that we see throughout the film is Needy and Jennifer have this like bond where it seems like Needy is kind of into her. Like she's always like really happily waving, you know, to Jennifer while she's doing flags, and even a girl is like, oh, this is like also in 2009, so the language is definitely dated, and some of the things are definitely...
Okay, but it's kind of funny.
It is funny.
Doesn't they say lesbi gay?
Yeah, lesbi gay.
I like that. That's funny.
Even like an outsider can kind of see like, oh, like, it's kind of interesting how you kind of wave to her, and they hold hands, and they kiss in the movie, and I don't know, there's just like that unspoken kind of like sexuality between the two, but then we come to find out that Jennifer is also very insecure. One of the things that I talked about a lot in my notes is how Jennifer is the kind of girl who she wants to be seen by everybody as pretty and popular, and the it girl kind of, and but underneath that she has a lot of insecurities about that. Like, we learn information about how she has to take laxatives to get skinny now. Like, she's just not naturally skinny, like in the movie. So I think she has a lot of insecurity, like, behind her trying to put on a good face, which I think is also she, like, the toxic femininity she is, or toxic female friendships is what I meant. She's trying to prove to Needy as well that she is kind of like better than her in a way, like, but while still being friends, and they're friends, but the things Jennifer says to Needy isn't very nice, and it's like, that's your friend, but you're like, even becoming a succubus, she pushes Needy really hard when they're just like play fighting, and seems like she makes the stake of boobs are my trademark. You cannot show your boobs, like, that's my thing. Like, kind of
show your butt.
Yeah, kind of being like putting Needy in like a certain area where she's like, you have to sit in this area of being like my best friend, but you can't outshine me. You can't be better than me. And so when she becomes a succubus, I think she also starts to kind of use that as it's kind of up in the air about how much of Jennifer it is, because I think it's Jennifer, but also demons. I think they're kind of like,
they're like
mixed
together.
Yeah. So I think she kind of then uses that as a way to continually try to put her power over Needy. Like, she kills Colin, who's the emo guy that Needy is like friends with, because Needy's interested in him, but I think that can also be read as jealousy. So I think there's a lot of things going on, because they end up kissing, and it seems like Jennifer, like, she really does care about Needy, because what breaks her from trying to kill Needy at the end is their BFF necklace. It breaks because they're fighting. Their Biff necklace, and they're like, Jennifer can levitate too, we find out. And they're like fighting in like a levitated state, and the way that Needy is able to get her to stop is like she breaks the BFF necklace. So I think Jennifer also, she does like Needy, but it's also, I have to be the most perfect and the most sought after girl, and Needy has to stay in her box of quirky, like,
definitely just sounds like insecurity. Like, she's just really, really insecure, and that's okay, because everyone's insecure. It's when you start controlling other people because of your insecurity. That's when it's like, woo. But they're also supposed to be in high school, so I mean, it's not okay. But as high schoolers, you just don't. You just got into puberty. You're like, I don't know what's going on in that brain.
Yeah, which like comes back to like, hell, as a teenage girl, you got all these hormones and emotions, and high school, you start to kind of have more, like, of an idea of like, I want to present like this, and like, I am interested in boys, or I'm interested in girls. You really start to like feel that kind of feeling in high school. And so I think there's a lot to be said about like being a teenage girl, which I think also is why the guys in my class were like, I don't get it. Like, because they're not teenage girls. Like, they don't know that experience. I'm sure they can, relate on some level of being a teenage boy with hormones and how that makes you act, but they don't have the teenage girl.
They just want to put their penis in something.
Yeah. That's true. I feel like we deal with more bleeding and pain and
anxiety and breakouts and
but so that was another thing. I watched this when I was in 6th grade, so I wasn't even in high school yet, but I could kind of see that, like, middle schools, it's fucking awful. I hate middle school.
My mother would have killed me if I watched that in 6th grade.
I watched it at a slumber party. My mom did want my dad to take me.
Yeah. My mom would be like, absolutely not. You cannot see that.
And what's funny enough is I was watching this movie as I had my second period ever, and I was miserable.
You're like, I understand.
I was like, I understand.
I did it.
I may not be a high schooler, but I get the struggle. I'm struggling right now, and
sometimes you just want to just gut a man.
Yeah, I was
drink the cavity is abdomen cavity.
Yeah. So I was like, I can relate to this. And then of course it was my sexual awakening, as Tess said, because there is a kiss scene between Needy and Jennifer, and it's very intense. It's not just a peck on the lips.
It's full on make out with tongue.
Yeah, and so that scene was one of the main marketing materials, of course, being like, hey, young boys, don't you like two girls kissing?
Hint, hint.
Hint, hint, you want to see? And so it's funny that was not, it worked kind of the same on me, but,
it worked the same on teenage boys and confused girls.
Yeah, and, the director actually said, though, and the writer, that scene, even though the business guys stepped in and kind of changed how it was supposed to be, the kiss was supposed to be in there, but it was supposed to be more showing that on some level Needy has an attraction and a love or a like for Jennifer, and so she's confused about those feelings, and then it all comes to a boiling point where she kisses her, and she's like, what the fuck is going on? Mm-hmm. Which in the movie it seems like she's referencing what is happening with you, Jennifer, but I think it's also what the fuck is going on? Why do
I want to kiss you more?
Yeah, that. So
man, I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that sometimes.
Yeah, so this is a pivotal movie. You know, the TikTok thing where it's what is a song or an album that changed your brain chemistry?
There was Jennifer's Body that changed your brain chemistry.
Yeah, because, it's such a pivotal movie to me, and it's been one that I've brought with me throughout my life, and I watch it different eras of my life, and I still like it. So yeah, that was one of my things that I kind of noticed was that kind of friendship, which I watched some interviews as well with Megan Fox, and she was kind of talking about how there's a lot of things with, female and female friendships. There's, tends to be some, depending on who your friends are, because, we don't have this,
we're also not teenage girls.
Yeah. Those kind of, but I think you've also experienced, how girls can be catty and, go behind your back and say...
Are you referencing sophomore year?
Yeah, mean shit and stuff like that. There's always that kind of, idea of female friendships, and it does happen, is that kind of catty nature. And
yeah. That's why I took a vow that if I don't like someone, whether male or female, I don't talk shit behind their back.
Yeah.
I talk shit to their face.
Exactly.
I want you to know that I don't like you.
Yeah.
Whether it's that because we don't vibe or I just don't like you. I promise myself, because I've been through the behind the back shit. I was the victim of it. I don't like how it feels, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to be mean and petty to your face.
Yeah,
so you know.
If you're going to do it, might as well do it to somebody's face.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to be abruptly mean, but I'm going to be you're going to know I don't like you by how I talk, and I would avoid you at all.
You're going to be, real about it.
I'm just going to, because I've done that in the past, and people are like, why do you not like me? And I would be like, I don't know. I just don't like you. Yeah. We just don't, the vibe.
Yeah.
The vibe is off. I don't know if it's because maybe you're a catty person and I can feel it, or maybe we're just two very different personalities that don't mesh.
Yeah.
Because me and you have two very different personalities with some similarities, but we mesh. We complement it.
Yeah.
I have talked shit behind your back, though. Not to the point of, like, catty mean. More like,
I think we talked
what the fuck am I doing?
about that in another podcast. Yeah. Like, being able to get advice, but it's not, like...
Yeah, it's not petty.
Yeah, it's not
being mean.
Petty.
It's more like, I don't know what to do.
Or, like, venting a little bit, but it's not, like... Fuck that.
Yeah, it's not in the mind of, I don't like you.
Yeah.
It's in the mind of, I like you so much, but I don't know what the fuck to do.
Exactly.
So there's a balance.
Yeah, which
if you piss me off, I let you know I'm pissed off. You can tell I'm pissed off. Whether it's at you or other people, you can tell that I'm pissed off because I'm doing it to your face. Sorry, it's really itchy, so I'm trying to itch the sides of it to alleviate. Because I don't want to smack it, because it sounds like sex.
It does.
And I'm so sorry. Give me a little second. It's so itchy.
Is my face turning red?
A little bit. Do you got Asian blush?
I think I didn't used to have it before, but something's happened now where I can start to feel it. Like, if you feel my cheeks right now, they're warm as fuck.
Is it because of your medication you take for acne?
Yeah, maybe. Because I was
also, I forgot to mention, you look really nice. Your acne's gone down a lot.
Thank you. I'm almost out of my antibiotics, so I'm supposed to see how my face does with that.
Yeah, it looks really good. It looks like it's clearing up a lot.
I might revert back if my body is like, those antibiotics, they worked for while you were taking them. But
yeah, they get it. They adjust. Yeah. Well, hopefully your body doesn't, because it looks really good.
I think it looks good.
I mean, you looked good before. I'm just saying.
Yeah, skin's better.
Yeah, the skin is starting to look like it's healing up nicely. So hopefully no Accutane.
Yeah.
It sucks. Don't do it.
Yeah, I'm going to avoid it if I can. But
yeah, I might have to go back on it. I'm starting to break out a lot more now. I don't know what to do, bitch.
Yeah.
But luckily it's more manageable.
Dermatologist.
I need to go see a dermatologist anyways for my moles. So I might as well bring that up too. Maybe I have to do that.
Yes. Anyways,
sorry.
To redirect us, because we do tend to go on little tangents. Just one quick thing. Gogo's so freaking cute every time she sleeps with
I know. I was going to say something, but I didn't know if it would sidetrack.
I just keep really looking at her because she's so cute. It's triggering my cute aggression.
Don't strangle her.
I won't.
Give her lots of cuddles,
stupid,
but no shaking.
Yeah, she's so cute. Anyways, so yeah, I think we've had that experience. Well, I haven't really felt that a lot just because I don't have friends. So if people were talking behind my back, I never knew it because I didn't interact. Well, I can
confidently tell you that nobody, because we used to work together, nobody talked bad about you behind your back. It was always good things at work. So
this is good to know.
Yeah. Finger guns. Pew pew.
Because I never really had, even though most of my friendships have been female friendships, like I've never fallen into the mostly guy friends just because I have a hard time relating with guys and I feel awkward with them. So I think that also, like, I don't have the experience of that kind of trope just because I guess the people that I was friends with were all religious, so I guess I protected myself that way. Because my best friend in high school, she was just so, like, religious, but just so nice to everybody that if she was talking shit about me, that would have been wild.
I think you would have been more entertained than like upset.
Wow.
Like, whoa, she got some things.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, I never knew this about you. But yeah, so I think there's always that kind of idea. I think I've seen it in even bars too. Like that one night that I went out and the girls that were there were like, oh my god, everybody smells really gross. I'm gonna be really immature and like fan my face. I'm like, bitch, you're at a club.
I agree. Everyone does smell. Move.
Yeah.
Go to a different one.
Yeah, or just move areas. But, like, don't be like, oh my god, it stinks so bad. Like, that was the voices that they were in. I was like, oh my god, I can't with these bitches. These are people I do not like.
This is why I need to be with you. Because I can't hold back when I'm drinking. I would turn straight to them and be like, oh my god, wait, you're not supposed to be in here. You're high schoolers. Go away.
Yeah, like, I can...
How did you get in with your fake IDs?
Yeah. It's just like, it's just those kind of people that...
Or just go with the shut the fuck up.
Where you're just like, oh my god, these bitches. Excuse my language. But yeah, So I think there's a thing to be said about...
Well, there's also male bitches. You hear about the fucking male bitches that are, like, also very catty, but catty in a different way.
Yeah.
I think men, their cattiness is more, like, aggressive. Like, in your face. Our catty is more, like, passive-aggressive. Yeah. Guys, I've seen guys fight over girls. One, fucking hilarious. Dude, she's not into either of you guys. You keep giving her drinks. That's the only thing she's interested in. But they'll be like, don't touch my girl. I'm sitting here like, bitch, that's your girl? You met her 10 minutes ago.
I think not.
If she was sober, she wouldn't have touched you with a 10-foot pole. Mm-hmm. You're just giving her free alcohol.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah, there's toxic people everywhere.
I'm going to write that down. 45.
Yeah, so that was one of my main things, and I think the other side of that is the sexuality that's going on, where Jennifer, maybe she is a toxic friend, but also she's toxic because she might be jealous of Needy, and she's like, I'm going to take out these men because that's my girl. Well, not in that way, because I don't think it's kind of...
I think it's a little of both. I think she thinks that it's her being... I think it's supposed to seem like she's a toxic friend, but possibly there's even more where she is also jealous. Mm-hmm. And she just doesn't understand because she's a teenage girl and we don't understand them sometimes.
A little bit of both, because...
Because there was something, like when Colin, the scene with Colin, you kind of get the feel, okay, maybe she's doing it because she's trying to make Needy jealous because she can get any guy. Yeah. But also maybe she's doing it because she doesn't want Colin to be competition for her.
Which I think...
And then that's why she aims for Chip.
Yeah, the same thing could be said with Chip, but I think with Chip it could be a little bit more of that toxic side, because she even like blatantly says like, say I'm better than Needy, like trying to prove that she's better in that situation, but also maybe she's taking out Chip because she's like, Needy will be mine. So like I think she has both of those kind of things happening at the same time.
I think she just doesn't understand her feelings toward Needy, and so it's coming off. I think she's trying to like do like almost cognitive dissonance where she doesn't think she can like Needy because she is a popular, normal, normal in quotation marks because she's technically a succubus. Yeah. Teenage girl. So she's not really understanding what these feelings are. So maybe because she can't understand them, she's going, well, then it must be that I need to prove that I'm better than her. Yeah. So she's overplaying the other side. Mm-hmm. So maybe that could be...
I think we could see that, like, in, like, how they've been friends since they were kids. Needy says something about, like, you've never been a good friend. Like, you used to, like, give me the ugly, like, Barbies and, like, throw lemonade on my bed. And, you know, there's that, like, common thing of when you're younger, you're kind of mean to people.
Mean when you like them.
Yeah. So
mostly
like,
it's boys.
Yeah.
A boy likes you if they're mean to you.
So is Jennifer...
Which is not true. Don't do that.
Don't do that. So is Jennifer just being a bad friend when she was younger? Or maybe she was misconstruing some, feelings for Needy, and definitely...
And that's why I think that the necklace affected her that much, because honestly, if I was Jennifer and I had no feelings towards Needy, and I just wanted to be a toxic friend and everything, like, I don't think I would have been that affected if... Not in this situation if I was a succubus and we're trying to kill each other. More like if we're fighting and she calls me a bitch and I don't ever want to be their friend anymore, I would be like, yeah, okay. I was stringing you along. I don't fucking care. You lose me. I'm a big piece of you, so you're fucked. I'm not. So I think that's why it affected her so much, because that token was kind of like a token of their affection towards each other, whether it was friendship or more. Mm-hmm. It was like a token. Yeah. And so when taking that away, it makes her realize that she's pushed so far that now Needy doesn't love her or doesn't even have feelings for her. Yeah. Which hurts her because she has feelings.
I could definitely, that makes sense, because why else would the necklace, like, matter? Because she has to at some level, like, have an affection for Needy, or she wouldn't, like, that necklace wouldn't have bothered her. And also, one thing I noted was she said when she first woke up after she was butchered by the horrible indie rock band, who, by the way, they sacrificed her so they could become famous indie rock band.
And that's this stupid fucking song.
It's 2009, so, like, you got the, like, Fall Out Boy and, like, Panic at the Disco, and even the soundtrack of the movie, just like a capsule of 2009
Panic at
emo.
the Disco on it.
So,
rip them.
They're like, there's so many of us, and we're all so cute. What our last resort is Satan, is what they say, which is.
Do you want to work? Do you want to work at a coffee shop your entire life?
Because this movie is also a horror comedy. That line gets me every time, because it's like, what could we do? We could, put all our work, and we could have hard work and really work for this, or we could just turn to Satan and we'll just sacrifice a virgin and Satan's gonna help us.
Beautiful plan. And I also, here's the thing, I don't follow Adam Brody very much. I don't really watch any of his movies that he's in. Not his movies, but that he's in. He's phenomenal.
He is.
I hate him, but I love him. Like, when he starts singing, Jenny, I got your nut, and just starts stabbing her, I'm sitting there like, this is horrifying, but also fucking hilarious. He pulls off an arrogant asshole so well that I started not liking him, but being like, okay, you should die, but also kind of respect you.
He's like a charismatic kind of
asshole
where, like, there's something about him which is enjoyable to watch, even though he's a scumbag and awful.
It's just a hilarious performance. He pulls off. I think here's the thing, because it's older and with all like the time differences, because it's 2009 and 2023. I think a lot of the jokes don't land now because of the time differences. But I think Adam Brody's character is timeless because his jokes are very are still relatable today or still funny today. Yeah. They haven't aged. Well, some of the other jokes are kind of a little cringy. Cheese and fries. Cheese and fries.
Yeah, it's very of the time dialogue wise, where I remember that time being a middle schooler and just saying shit.
So it's a lot more age, so it's funny in the way of it's cringy, but it's not funny like I think Adam Brody's jokes were. Yeah. Because his jokes are just they're timeless kind of. They're timeless dark jokes that are still not relatable. That's the wrong word to use. But they can be used nowadays, and it's totally okay, I get it. What's wrong? Do we got to pause?
I forgot she calls
on Thursdays. Oh, I thought you switched it to Wednesday.
No, Thursdays the night because we do Wednesday, but it's already been an hour, so I'm just gonna.
Do you want me to pause so you can have a call?
It's too late. She has a window to call.
Oh. Sorry, Allie.
Let me just send a quick message.
I'll entertain you guys. One of my favorite scenes, besides the kiss scene, because that also has my favorite sexual awakening part, was I really like, again, it's Adam Brody. It's his joke. So they're at that indie band concert thing at that bar, and it burns down. A mysterious fire starts and it burns down, and everyone's out. Well, some people are dead, but Needy and Jennifer get out, and Adam Brody walks up with a beer in his hand. He's like, "Oh, I was looking everywhere for you guys," and just the way he said it, arrogant, very arrogant. But the way he said it, and the way that Needy kind of reacts to it, and he's like, "Oh, well, wouldn't it be more comfortable if you were in my van?" And I was like, "Oh my god!" One, terrifying. Two, so fucking funny how he delivers it. I don't know. I hope Adam Brody is a good person because he's funny. and I really like his character. Well, I like the funniness of his character. So, but I think all of his jokes really landed, especially now. I think I laughed the most at his jokes than any of the other jokes. I remember one time after we watched either the movie the first time or our second time watching, because I think this is our third time watching it together. I think the second time I said something that Jennifer said, and you're like, oh, no, you can't say that. And I was like, what? You're like, no, that's actually really offensive. And I was like, I don't know the context of this, so you had to explain it to me. It was the joke they made after kissing, where she's like, you're talking so fast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She said she called her a sped, and I'm like, you can't say that. Special education. That's what she's calling her because she's like talking so fast that she's like stuttering. So she called her special education.
I didn't know that. I thought she was making a joke saying like you sound like a speed bump. And maybe that was like a term for speed bump because she was stuttering, and you stutter when you have a speed bump that goes multiple times. So that's what I was thinking. So I said it as a joke. And Lyrica was like, no, that's actually really offensive. I was like, what? And she explained it to me, and I was like, oh my God, I did not know that. So I thought that was really, I needed to do a callback to that because I was so embarrassed. Luckily, it was just in the comfort of our own home, because I think I would have like turned into Jennifer. If that I would willingly sacrifice myself at that point because I was so embarrassed. But now that I understand the context, I've never said that again.
Yeah, it's so like fascinating because
you could get away with so much back then.
Yeah, watching it in 2009, these were things that I was like, oh, like it just like I was so used to those things being said.
Normalized.
Not that they're okay, because of course now.
No, they're bad, but they were normalized back then because it was quote unquote okay to be ableist, sexist, racist, and all that shit.
Middle schooler, I'm like, nope. And especially watching it at a slumber party, no one was there to be like, hey, that's not an okay thing
that's
to
not
say.
okay.
Especially in middle school, I was like, I hear those shit like not very nice things like retarded gets used a lot. Of course, it's not.
I actually hate that word.
Yeah, it's not.
I've always hated that word.
Thing, but I remember that being like when I was in middle school, people would say that to each other, and it was an insult, as in like not good. But I didn't at the time realize that it just shouldn't be said at all. Like it's like
you didn't understand the full context. You saw a little picture. You didn't see the whole. You saw a little tidbit of like the puzzle, but you didn't see the whole puzzle of the complexities behind that.
Yeah,
word.
like how I remember in elementary school, like you're gay isn't like a bad thing, and it's like looking back, like that was a normal thing that elementary schoolers would say to each other as an insult. But now I know the context of gay and that it was being used to be mean. So it was just such a different time. It's wild.
Whenever I heard that, I remember whenever I heard that when I was younger, like somebody saying, "Oh, that's so gay." Like I wouldn't think of it as an insult. I remember it was never really an insult to me. Probably because I kind of knew I was already kind of bi, so I was like, "That's not an insult if somebody says that's so gay to me." But I knew that it was used as an insult, and I was like, "Okay, I'm a little gay then. What? That's fine." Yeah. But like if I heard other people saying it to back then, I was very subdued. I was a people pleaser. I wouldn't say anything to anyone if I heard something that I didn't necessarily agree with. I didn't agree with saying the R word. I don't even say it. Even back then, I never even said it that I can remember. I just never really liked it. It felt gross. It felt itchy to say something like that. Kind of like saying moist. It gave me that kind of feeling. And same with that's okay. I might have said that as like not an insult per se, because I never meant it as a mean thing. I guess I was in the same boat where I was just like, I didn't see the full context of the reasoning. I just didn't really say it a lot to the point where people knew I was insulting them or something. So, but when I would hear other people say it, I would be like, that's mean. I don't know why it's mean, but it feels mean. So I was like, I don't really want to say it. So in high school, I like vowed never saying those kind of things. And that's kind of when we started learning those contexts and learning more about the nuances and why it's not okay to be homophobic, racist, ableist, sexist, and everything. Because back then, having that discussion with children was like a no-no.
Yeah.
Especially for like outside sources that weren't the family. It was never a thing. And then now with this generation coming up, younger Gen Z from us, and then iGen, Gen Alpha? Alpha Gen? Gen Alpha. There's
some noise out there.
I think they're now being exposed to it a lot earlier on of what's racist, what's sexist, what's ableist, and learning in a way that's constructive and not insulting, because some people don't
Sorry, I'm
hearing noises too.
I think it's the wind on the window, maybe.
It sounds like our washer, our dishwasher.
Yeah, but
it might be the refrigerator making that noise.
Oh, weird. Anyways, I'm glad you hear it too.
Yeah, it sounds like it's the fridge. It sounds like it's coming from the fridge. It sounds like water.
Yeah.
Oh, is it our AC doing stuff?
Maybe.
Because our AC is behind that wall.
Hopefully our fridge is not leaking.
No, we would notice that. We can check after this. I'll check and see what's going on. But back then I would never stand up. Now if I heard shit, now I'm more of a I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So, to the point where my mother is now concerned. She's like, one day you're just gonna be dead. I'm like, no. Cross my fingers.
Hopefully not. Yeah, it was such a different time, which it's funny because
I think it was my biggest gripe though is saying it's a different time.
Yeah.
I hate when people say that. It's not a different time. It was the same time, but we allowed to be a racist, sexist, ableist. We allowed it. So saying it's like saying I was a different person. No, the fuck you ain't. You ain't a different person. You're the same person who did shitty things. So we were the same time. We just allowed shitty, bad things to happen. And we didn't do anything about it. Because we came from privilege as being white.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of women. But when it wasn't sexism, white women, we came from privilege with that stuff. So we allowed to laugh at minorities.
Yeah.
So nowadays, we vow to never do that shit and allow that shit to happen.
Which is so interesting because the writer of the movie, she, like, I don't know what she's done since Jennifer's Body, but every interview, she's not, like, she doesn't seem like she has a lot of, like, hate towards people. It just seemed like, because her thing was, like, snappy dialogue that's, like, very, like, the verbiage is very of the time and, like, what would be things to say, but also quirky. Because she also did, the writer did Juno.
I've never seen that. My mom refused growing up to let me watch that because she's like, it glorifies teen pregnancy. And I was like, I don't know. I didn't even know she was a teen.
I like Juno.
Maybe I should watch that now that I'm an adult and not a teenager.
I find Juno sweet, but it's got that quirky, snappy, like, language, but it's less about, it's never having to deal with, like, it doesn't say, like...
Was Juno before this?
Yeah. I don't think retarded comes up ever. So I'm wondering if those things that are said, they're also related to Jennifer most of the time. Like, you know, Needy, she doesn't really cuss. I wonder if it's also not that it's, like, okay to have those at all. I think they're also, because they're coming from Jennifer, they're kind of showing that Jennifer's not, like, she isn't the best
She's not.
She lives in her bubble.
I think it also shows just the immaturity of her. She doesn't understand the weight of her words.
That's what I think, too, is...
Just like people back in 2009 didn't understand the weight of their words.
So
or they did and they blatantly ignored it.
Yeah.
Maybe that was her, too.
Yeah.
We can't really tell for sure. But the way she was kind of... Well, we don't know for sure if she was being blatant, like, ignorant. Like, she just doesn't understand or doesn't care to understand. Or she does understand and she just wants to be that kind of person.
Like, I could
being
see that
racist or ableist.
Kind of personality. Because I think the harshest things are said by her. Like, you have that one girl's, like, lesbian gay, but she's, like... When the, like, racist remark comes from Jennifer,
She used a racist remark? I don't remember
She
that.
says, like, about Needy's nails. She's like, you should
get it buffed out. Yeah.
Like, that came from her. The calling her sped came from, like, Jennifer. Like, all of the mean things come from her.
You know what I noticed, actually? She never said those things before. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's the succubus playing into her.
Yeah.
Where, like a succubus is a demon who kills men with sex, basically. Yeah. And so that's the lore behind it. So maybe it was showing, even though we know, the audience knows, but it's showing Needy, because Needy doesn't know for sure, that there's a change and there's something worse. Maybe it's because maybe the writer was like comparing, like, she's a demonic entity. Demonic entities are racist, sexist, ableist, all those kind of things. So maybe it wasn't even Jennifer. It was the demon side of her. And it was a way to show Needy in a way that wasn't blatant, like killing a man in front of her.
Yeah.
Like, it's more subtle changes. Like, her speaking is now different. She would never say these things before. So maybe.
Yeah, I think
maybe that could be also an explanation. I would love to talk to this writer about it. Yeah. Being like, is this now writer and producer? We'll put that.
Writer is her name's Diablo Cody, but that's not her real name.
Oh.
I was like, somebody named her Diablo.
I
was like, that's a little mean as a parent. But no, she named herself.
So she named herself. What is it, King of Hell?
Yeah.
Is that right?
It's something like devil, like
devil, hell devil.
Really funny to be like.
What does Diablo?
A parent named their kid that. I was like, there's no way. And yeah, there is no way.
Okay, here we go. Diablo. It means devil.
Yeah.
She called herself devil.
Yeah.
Sick. Him? Her.
Yeah. Yeah. I think maybe it also could be, since I get the feeling that Jennifer isn't, like, usually the best person, even pre-succubus. Like, she is a little inappropriate, being like, oh, like, Needy, are you fucking your boyfriend up there? And she says, like...
But I do that to you all the time.
But she goes on and is like, it smells like Thai food in here. Like, kind of just really inappropriate, like, connections to things. So maybe the demon is also heightening the worst parts of herself. So, maybe this isn't things she would normally say, but she has a heightened, like... Because I get the feeling that Jennifer, like, pre-succubus, is the kind of girl who, is kind of immature and insecure. Like, we hear she's insecure, where she has this air of being, pretty and, like, popular and...
Airheady.
Kind of airheady, but maybe she does have these kind of inappropriate, like, comments about her, maybe not to the extent that we see after being a succubus, because, like, my first, like, feeling of Jennifer is she's not, like, the best person, but she's not, like, horrible. Like, the things that happen to her, like, I'm like, oh, that's awful. Like, it's not like, oh, Jennifer's, like, the hateful bitch. And I'm like, yeah, this happened to you. Like, she just seems like a girl in high school that doesn't know.
And I think what's really awesome, what the writer and the producer did, was even though you can tell she's not really a likable person, I wouldn't want to be friends with her.
Mm-hmm.
The scene where she was killed and sacrificed, every woman, no matter if you despise Jennifer as a person, would feel bad, would feel horrible, would want justice. Because I think it shows the perfect showcase of trying to disrupt the perfect victim. Because there's always that idea of the perfect victim did everything right. Mm-hmm. They're a good person. They don't wear scandalous clothes.
That was the not to jump in, but that is for like 1970s rape revenge movies. The women were always demure, and it was like, see, like
they were good girls.
The good girl, like, isn't it how awful that she was raped? And like then you have that one revenge where it's different, where she's promiscuous. It's like, see, it's not okay in any form.
Yeah, and I think that showcased, like, even though Jennifer isn't a likable person as a friend, and maybe just in general, maybe not the most likable person, it shows that, you know, even that we can still feel sympathy for her because it's a horrible situation. Obviously, like, getting murdered in general, awful situation, but, like, being kidnapped as a young girl, not knowing your situation, and them, like, while in the van, they're, like, talking about being like, are you sure she's a virgin? She doesn't know what to say, and she thinks saying she's a virgin will get her out of it. Mm-hmm. So you can just see, like, she's just trying to get out of this situation because she doesn't want to now be in that situation. And you can just, like, even though I don't really particularly like Jennifer, I'm like, I want to reach out and I want to save her. Yeah. I don't want her in this situation. You can fucking hate the person. They could be your fucking enemy, but I don't think as a normal person you would want that amount of pain on that other person. It's,
like, very,
that you don't
like,
it's violent
and uncomfortable, and they're, like, essentially, like, making fun of her too, even though that's, like, the comedy is them, like, singing while they stab her.
Black comedy.
It's still, like, if you were in her place, like, how
terrifying,
awful that would be. And yeah, I definitely feel a lot of sympathy for her, because she, like, thinks she wants to go with the guy, and she's, like, in shock after the bar burns down, but when she gets in there, she's, like, really, like, afraid for her safety. Like, she asks if they're rapists, which I think, from what I understand, it was on purpose to kind of make that allegory of, like, it evokes, like, the idea of, like, women being afraid of being raped and that danger that we have as women, because, you know, it's a van and they take her and they're, like, asking, like, about her, like, virginity and stuff like that. And so I think from what I, like, read and understand is it's supposed to evoke that kind of feeling of, like, even though that's not what they do, we have that fear of that sense of danger, and also, like, sympathy of her, like, oh, well, that could be a real situation that actually happens. You know, maybe not the sacrificing to Satan thing,
but being kidnapped and murdered and
raped, like, that's a strong fear that, like, I think a lot of women have, because that's our, like, experience being women, is
not being killed, because we're both obviously alive, but being told
that danger
by media, by people just in general having those experiences. It puts a girl on high guard.
Yeah.
And that's why I would never step foot in that van.
Yeah.
But also, we're older. We understand. How old are they? 16-year-olds probably don't understand.
Yeah. Other than Needy does. She's like, she knows something's off, and she even, like, Chip is like, what's the make and model? And she's like, I don't know, 89 rapists? Like, that's what she thinks is happening.
Yeah.
Because that would be, like, a logical thing that she would think is, oh, these guys from the city, you know. Like,
taking an underage girl.
Yeah, like, it just screams danger.
And I think it also shows their maturity levels.
Yeah.
Like, Needy's mature enough to know this is a dangerous situation, but Jennifer is not that mature to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Or can read the room.
Yeah.
So,
like, she thinks they're, like, just cool guys, so she's like, yeah, I'm gonna go with them in their van. And it's like, when she's in there and she starts seeing, like, the books about, like, Satan and stuff like that, she's like, this is not a safe situation.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
She starts to feel that sense of danger while she's actually within the van, but she doesn't feel it outside of that. But I think he's also preying on her a little bit with that, because she is in shock and, like, this really traumatic thing just happened, and he's like, oh, like, let me, like, sweep in and, you know, help you.
I'll save you. It's safer in the van.
Yeah, kind of playing along to, like, oh, she'll go with me because
Yeah.
I can kind of sway her. And then that's when she
Plus,
gets in the mood.
he knows that she's obviously into him when they first met in the bar.
The 9/11.
Which they never gave to him, by the way.
No, he just started singing, and I was like, that's a waste of alcohol.
Come on, take a shot.
Yeah, take a shot. Yeah, I think, there's a lot of that sympathy for her. And I had a thought, like, while watching this as well. The movie is called, like, Jennifer's Body, and even though they didn't sexually assault her, they did technically take her bodily autonomy away from her by killing her in a succubus. She now shares her body with the succubus, and her desires are now driven by the succubus, even though she's still there. Like, it's still kind of a like assault on her body and like taking her body from her, essentially her life from her. Like, they're still taking, like, they're harming her in this way. And but I also think one of the reasons why I really like this movie, going back to her eating boys, not that I want to eat a boy.
In what way?
But I think we joked about it a little bit, though, like being able to have the power that, like, Jennifer or, like, Needy has, like, in a situation with a man, that you could protect yourself. I think that's one of the things, like, as I look back on watching it and, like, why I really liked it, I was like, I want to be like Jennifer. Not I want to be a succubus, but I want to have that power to protect myself and, like, make sure that I'm going to be safe in all situations. And, like, you know, she has that kind of power where, unless she's hungry, she, you know, is immortal. And there's, like, being a woman. I'm like, you know, it'd be kind of nice, like, if a man tried to fuck with me. Like, I could
kick him to oblivion.
Yeah, like, I could, you know, really protect myself in a way. And, you know, like, you see that with Needy at the end. She just gets in the car with the old man, and he's a little bit questionable. I don't know if he's hopeful or what, but, like, if
he looks questionable. She definitely killed him and took his car.
And she has no, like, fear, because what does she have to fear now? Like, so I think that's one of the things, is there's a sense of, like, especially with the, like, rape allegory with the van and everything, like, you know, in that situation, I could just kill the guys, that I'd be like, you know, the sense of power, even though the situation she's in.
Or you'd be able to at least get away from them.
Yeah.
Because she could teleport.
Yeah,
which it's easy.
I think is one of the things that, like, why I really like fantasy things. Like, I like vampires. Like, I don't want to be immortal, but I like being able... I like the idea of having a sense of strength and power where, like, I could protect myself better and, like...
That's why I do kickboxing.
Yeah, so, like, even though Jennifer, this awful thing happens to her, she now has a greater power over, like, people that could harm her, even though she's just eating boys that aren't really harming her. Like, the foreign exchange student, like, he doesn't know what is going on. He's confused.
It's a convenience, because nobody knows he survived. Yeah. Nobody knows where he is.
Jonas is, like, the football player she kills is actually, like, a really sensitive, and, like, he seems like he's a really nice guy.
He might be a nice guy, but he wants to have sex with Jennifer.
Yeah.
While his best friend died the day before.
Guy thing.
That seems weird, but maybe that's a male thing that I don't understand. Maybe their grief, or just men in general, maybe their grief is by boning it out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it just takes away the pain for a little bit, but, like, for me, absolutely not. Do not touch me if I'm grieving.
Yeah.
But maybe that's because I understand feelings and I know I need to sit with them.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. It's like... And then Colin, of course, he's just, like, the emo poet boy. Like, he seems really, like...
He actually seems genuinely good.
Like Colin.
It's not a fucking boxing movie.
He's like, God.
Never mind.
He just wants to go take her on a date to the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Question, isn't that also a queer acclaimed movie?
Yeah, I think so.
Is he...
I don't know.
He could be a little bi.
But yeah, I like Colin. He's just so sweet. He like writes poems about his feelings, and it's like, oh,
he's the emo that's like the hipster emo, but he looks goth.
Yeah,
but he's not like the.
He's just like, I want to write my sad poems.
He's the emo. He's the emo. And he's not the goth emo.
He has a rosary and everything. He would seem like I think they mentioned, like, oh, I thought Colin only liked the dead girls, and, like, he's into, like, ghosts and stuff like that.
Oh, goths. Yeah. I thought you meant, like, goth girls.
Maybe goth girls, yeah.
Because, like, dead girls, they look like they're dead.
It's just, like, you think Colin, would be the stereotype of, like, of goth where, he's not gonna have a rosary, but he's just got his little rosary, and he just wants to write
And even though he's a goth guy, he's going for, like, the prettiest girl and the most popular girl. He got balls. I could never do that. In my emo phase, I could never. I had a huge crush on this jock boy. I would have never.
Yeah, he was like, I'm a
freshman year, I dated a jock, though. And then I went into emo mode sophomore year, and then I couldn't talk to any of the jocks. Too intimidating. But, balls. He got balls.
I like Colin, if you can't tell. I also like
Colin's cute. He's also very cute. His stupid lip ring.
Every time I look at him, I'm like, I was never into, like, the emo or goth boy look, but every time I look at Colin, I don't know if it's because he just also seems in the movie just really nice and, like...
And genuine.
Like, he just likes
Maybe you
talk.
like just emo boys.
Yeah, I was like, oh, he's so sweet.
Emo or anime? Those are your two boys.
So in touch with his feelings. I was like, yes, Colin.
You know why? He's a little bit of Edward.
Yeah.
Except without the creepy parts.
Without the creepy, yeah.
But, can I please go on a rant about how much I hate Chip?
Yeah, go.
I fucking hate Chip.
Chip is, Needy's high school boyfriend.
He dies, thank God. I hate him. I absolutely despise him. Please don't turn off, thank you. My biggest gripe is he's good for the most part up until the dance, where Needy doesn't want to go to the dance with Chip because she's scared Jennifer is going to kill everyone there, or all the boys there. And she doesn't want Chip in danger. He ends up wanting to go to surprise her and everything. And Jennifer follows him, catches up to him. He just starts making out with her because she said, oh, she cheated on you with Colin. And immediately he's like, okay, I want to fuck you now.
Yeah.
Immediately. No proof. No belief whatsoever. She's only talked to Colin in classes.
Well, I think he did have a little, like, suspicion of maybe they like each other, because he's like, oh, why is Colin talking to you? And he's like, oh, your mysterious friend Colin. I think he has a little bit of jealousy.
Yeah, but even so...
I'm going to take Colin over Chip.
My issue is, though, if I was in that situation and somebody told me that my partner cheated on me, I wouldn't immediately go, I'm going to fuck you now. My brain goes to, okay, where's the proof? Like, I need to know. Like, here, even if it was you telling me, like, my metaphorical boyfriend cheated on me, or girlfriend cheated on me, I'd be like, okay, how do you know this? What's the proof? Do you got text message? Do you got pictures? What do you know? Or did you see something? Like, that's my thing. And if you told me what you saw, then maybe I would believe you. She just said, she cheated on you with Colin. And he went, okay, I'm gonna fuck you now. And so then he starts making out with her. And then she says, say I'm better than me. He goes, what? I wouldn't do that. And proceeds to make out with her more. And then he follows her to the abandoned pool house thing. And he proceeds to, he's following her, so he knows he wants to bang her. And then when they get here, it's very awkward. And then he's like, I don't want to do it anymore. But proceeds to kiss her more. I hate Chip. He reminds me of, like, all the fucking horny teenagers that were like that in high school. Never to me, thank God. But, like, just who I saw.
Yeah.
Who are like, I'm gonna fuck my girlfriend's best friend. Like, get together, like, make out. In high school, I don't know that many people that actually had sex. But in high school, it was like making out. I'm gonna make out with it icked me. I don't like it. If you don't like them or they think they cheat, break up with them and then do a rebound.
Well, I think technically they did break break up because she was like, I can't be with you right now. It's not safe. Like, as in, I can't be dating you.
Okay, the night of breaking up.
He does blindly, like, just believe what Jennifer said.
It's because he wants her puss.
And it's like, that's kind of a disservice, like, well, not kind of, it is a disservice to automatically think that this girl that you're in love with would do something like that, and you're just gonna believe that blindly because Jennifer tells you so. It's like, dude, like, why would you believe that when he even says, like, later, like, I love you before he dies. It's like, you love this girl, but you're just gonna believe.
And the biggest gripe I got was she came to save his ass when he cheated on her. I still say cheating. Because maybe she meant physically, I can't be around you because I'm scared something's going to happen if we're around each other. Maybe that's what she meant. It wasn't a clear breakup. It could have been a break. They could have established that. Ooh, and she went to save his ass. I would be petty. I'd be like, you followed Jennifer to this abandoned place? Obviously you want to fuck her. Die, bitch. Yeah. I don't care.
I guess him dying, though, leads into Needy wanting to kill Jennifer. I think without that, at least plot-wise,
oh, no. I'm saying they needed it for the plot. I'm saying I don't like him still.
Exactly.
I wish he just died faster.
Yeah.
Maybe they could have made it more gruesome and I would have loved it. Maybe bring out his whole body.
He technically got his neck ripped out.
No, I wanted to see everything ripped. I wanted to see Colin level-esque. I needed that. I needed to see a rat go on his face because he is a rat.
Oh, yeah. It's gross. Why did Colin get treated worse? Come on.
Well, I mean, there was a deer eating out of the first dude.
That's true. Jealous, yeah.
And thank God we didn't see the exchange student die.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
Leave him out of this. He was a nice man.
So sad because he just, like, you know, a foreign exchange student. He came from India and now he's getting murdered in the woods. Like, poor guy. He just came to study in another country.
Thank God they hid that. I don't know if I would have been able to watch it. They killed him on screen.
And nobody knows. They just think he burned in the
fire.
Which I'm wondering, like, they don't really talk much about him because the kills off screen and everything. But I'm like, did she eat all of him? Or is one day he's going to get found in the woods? Like,
maybe she buried him.
Yeah. She was like, well, it doesn't seem like she's much for hiding.
Well, maybe it was because it looked like a very wooded area. Yeah. Maybe he's hidden under
other animals. It's just
other
so
animals.
Sad.
Maybe like the grass was so grown out that you just can't really see it unless you're on it.
Yeah, poor exchange. But yeah, Chip, I was like,
I just don't like Chip.
Blindly believe that, but I guess throughout the movie, he's also very no wonder he doesn't
penis focused.
He just doesn't he doesn't believe things or he's kind of dismissive to Needy. So no wonder he's also the immediate chance. He's like, she could have cheated on me. It's like. I don't know, he just seems really, wishy-washy about his...
Yeah, sometimes he's really good. Once the fire happens, she calls him, and he immediately wakes up and says, are you okay? But the thing is, here's the thing, he doesn't care about Jennifer. He doesn't like Jennifer.
He called her evil, because Needy was like, oh, Jennifer is evil, succubus evil, and he's like, but she doesn't say that. He's like, I know. And she's like, no, not high school evil. I mean evil. He already,
he doesn't, or when she called saying, Jennifer got into the van, we need to find her. He's like, I don't really care. Oh, well, it's on her and stuff like that. And so, obviously he doesn't like Jennifer. But when Jennifer says she cheated on you, he obviously, even though he calls her evil, doesn't like her, doesn't think she's a good person, doesn't care if she got murdered or raped. The thing is, he blindly believes her because now he's like, it's a clear pass. No, I hate you, but you're hot, so I'm gonna fuck you.
I wonder if maybe they don't ever allude to this really, but her being a succubus, maybe she does have more of a tantalizing nature where guys are more drawn to doing things with her and because they lure her with sex. But yeah, it's still
maybe, but still blindly believed it.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, because she only had 2 guys. And the foreign exchange student didn't seem like drawn sexually towards her.
No.
He just wanted to get home.
Yeah, he is.
And he thought she was taking her home. She was taking him home. There we go.
Yeah. I was just wondering, because Colin, like, as soon as he gets to the house, like, he's not immediately like, maybe I should leave, but maybe it's also just a thing about teenage
she's a
boys
popular girl
and their
who wants to have sex with him.
That these guys are just like, yeah, like, they don't think twice about it. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna, like, have sex with the hottest girl in school. I don't care that I'm randomly in the woods with her and she's being
also,
a little weird.
Awful place to have sex, I would think.
Yeah.
I've never done it, but I think that would be awful. Bugs, grass. I'm allergic to grass.
Yeah.
Stuff like rocks or stuff being in the back while you're laying down. Awful. Sounds like an awful place. The bugs. I just can't imagine the bug. Think about a spider climbing on you while you are nude.
No, I would cry. Yeah.
She freaked out because there was a tiny little spider on our windowsill.
Yeah, I would be like, I am out of here. I'm done with this. Yeah, Chip, you know.
I'm glad he's dead.
Oh.
Thank God.
Thank God, Chip. Yeah, we're just.
I say bring back Colin.
And justice for
and
Colin.
Kill Chip.
Yeah.
Just Chip.
Colin just come back. There was another thing I wanted to talk about before we run out of time. Oh yeah, I was thinking about Jennifer's like being a succubus and like how she lures men with her sexuality. I think it's interesting that the movie like being marketed towards men and young like teenage boys and using her sexuality, but in reality the movie, her sexuality kind of becomes like her weapon, where it's not like, oh, watch Jennifer, the movie's not like watch Jennifer be sexy for men. It's like she's using her sexuality.
She technically is being sexy for men.
Yeah.
But to kill them.
So it's like being a teenage boy. Like, it didn't go over well with teenage boys because they would be in the shoes of the men who are getting murdered, and that's not, like,
and it's
fun and sexy.
So
like,
funny how I think about that. It's so fucking funny because we're so used to it, me and you and women in general, seeing that in normal movies. It's not with sexuality, but like just men murdering women in gruesome, horrible ways. And it doesn't faze us, but it phases men when the tables are turned.
Yeah.
And I think it's because men aren't used to it.
Yeah.
They're not used to women being stronger than them. Or they're not used to seeing it in the media of a woman taking over a man. So I think it's just sexism in its greatest form.
Exactly. It's like
where that's why it's such an occult classic in general, not just queer, but just in general. Because I think now women see it as more of a like a fuck yeah, kill him.
I think that's
do it
exactly like also why I have such a reaction to this movie is like the women are the powerful ones in this movie. Like they, even though you know her being a succubus isn't probably the greatest thing for her.
Fuck it, I don't care.
Yeah, but
do what you want.
Like she, like they have the power and they're our main focus and our main characters, and it's not about the guys really in the movie. And yeah, she gets to kill the guys, and she's not the one. I mean, at the beginning, she's the one who gets, you know, she's the like prey for like the indie band. But then I think one thing I like about her becoming a succubus is she now has that like, I'm the predator. Like I can kill the indie band, even though she never thinks of that.
Maybe she sees it as a good thing because now she's stronger.
Yeah, which
so she sees it as kind of a double-bladed sword. Like, yeah, it sucked to be fucking murdered. Yeah. But also, I now have these awesome powers.
Yeah, and she, like...
And I can't die, really.
Yeah, which is very, intriguing. Like, you know, if I could be a succubus minus the, like, demon perks, I don't know if I really want to have a demon in me.
It didn't seem to affect her that much.
Yeah. You know, I could kill horrible men or horrible people.
I think what you said about it being like almost like the van representing kind of like the rapist fantasy and everything about being in the van, being kidnapped and such like that. I think the whole movie is kind of like that.
Yeah.
Because some women who've gone through such extreme things, such as being raped or being attacked, come out, and sometimes they can't speak out, but others become strong activists.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's kind of also representing that, being like, this horrible thing happened to you, like being sexually assaulted. In a gruesome or in just a normal, not normal, in a subtle's not the good way. What is that called when it's not like you didn't say no, but you were like manipulated into it?
Kind of.
It's not by force.
Yeah, like
passive.
Like passive. Yeah.
Passive.
Yeah, it's kind of like the coercion. Not passive as in like you're like. It's not, an assault still, but, like, you...
Like, passive-aggressive assault?
Yeah, or, like, you...
It's
not how we've talked about before with women will just go through with it because of the danger, or, like, they say no so many times that it's just too much work now. It's, like, that kind of, like, thing.
It's...
Yeah. I don't know a good word to say.
Yeah. That's why I don't think subtle's the right term, but it's, like, slowly eating away, and you finally get
like
the guy wearing down.
Yeah,
the non-aggressive with force, with
like
stuff like the non-aggressive types, like whether it ranges, like it's a very impactful thing for a person. So maybe like on the other side, when people come out of it, they might feel or be stronger or more. Maybe even aggressive back. And that's why, like, for example, that's how I kind of see mine with being sexually assaulted twice. Now I'm more not a people pleaser because that's what I did. When I was like, I don't want to be hurt. I'm just going to get this over with. I'm going to finish it. And I was almost like a people pleaser kind of look at it. Being like, I will just do this and then I'll get out of it. And so... when I, now looking at how I grew as a person and dealt with that trauma, I'm now a person who strives not to be a people pleaser. You like me or you don't like me. And if I don't like you or if I don't want to be around you, I'm going to make sure you know that, whether it's by my body language or it's by my fucking words. You'll know. And so in that essence, it does make me feel stronger as a person. Kind of like how a demon made her stronger physically and maybe a little bit more mentally, but definitely physically. And that's why I'm also trying to be physically stronger, doing kickboxing and knowing how to throw a punch if I ever need to throw a punch. Just let me know if you want somebody to be punched. I got strong knuckles now. Speaking of, with kickboxing on Saturday, I can't wear my gloves. Because my gloves go up to here and they rub. So if I'm scabbed up, I can't wear my gloves. So I have to punch without gloves, which is not going to be fun. I could use my sparring gloves, but I don't know how far that goes.
I think she said you're not supposed to go like super hard either.
She said also to wear long sleeves, but because of the gloves, it was still rub.
This is a time that it's too bad that you have to do one every week.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not too bad about it because I just won't punch as hard. Yeah. I'll just wear long sleeves to make sure no other people's sweat get onto me, even though we're not that close to each other. But I'll just wear a long sleeve to protect, and then I'll just not wear my gloves, which is fine. I just won't throw as hard punches as I usually do because I don't have the padding. But I also need to learn how to throw a punch without my gloves because I won't be wearing my kickboxing gloves if I'm, say, at a bar and somebody is touching either me or you very inappropriately and we say no and I warn them, then it's all game, bitch. It's all game. Then I'm allowed to punch them.
Oh my God, punch a person.
No, that's why you tell me and I punch them.
You're going to get arrested.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If they're sexually harassing you and touching you inappropriately, I would probably get off as self-defense. Being like,
maybe.
he was being aggressively inappropriate to you, I'm allowed to punch you now to get you physically off of her.
Yeah.
Because I slapped a man because he was being disgusting and in the girls' bathroom when he was not supposed to be. And I told my mom that. She got mad. And I said, well, he was being sexually explicit to all of us girls in the bathroom. And also, he exposed his ween to all of us when he was peeing with the door wide open. That's exposure, and that's being sexual harassment. So if I slapped him, technically I would get off. And my mom went, yeah, you probably would have.
Yeah.
To get him out of there. So, you know what? You're bad. And here's the thing. The way you get away with it is if you say no, you say stop, and they keep going, you warn them, if you do that again, I will punch you. And they do it again. Technically, they're asking. They're asking to be punched now. Yeah. Because I told them, if you keep doing it, I will punch you. If they keep doing it, technically, it's a legal binding contract. I told you, you accepted, I punch.
Yeah.
And if I get arrested, oh fucking well. I got a lawyer in the family. I'll pull out that card.
Yeah, I don't want to get arrested.
Well, that's why you also can't punch.
Yeah.
Because you got nails. Just scratch them.
Yeah.
Or just, like, put your foot up. If they're behind you, put your foot up like you're dancing. Hit them in the balls. Yeah. Technically, it's assault, but technically, you did it on accident.
I mean, if I was out in, like, if I was being, like, grabbed, you know, like, out in, like, public, like, not in, like, a setting of a bar, like, if somebody's trying to grab me, then maybe
all out punch. But
if
I
can
a bar
exit the situation, I'm more of an exiter than...
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. If we exit and they follow, then they're not going to back up. Then, okay. Yeah. So those are my rules. We say stop, they don't stop. If they do it again, I can threaten, say, if you do that again, I will punch you. Then we move. If they follow, then I punch.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's a legal binding contract.
Yeah.
That's a legal verbal contract.
Because then we also gave them so many chances, and then, like, it's
3 warnings.
So, like, not... You can't excuse that away then. Because if it was one time, then the police would probably be like...
You know what bars need?
Away.
Yeah. You know what bars need?
Mm-hmm.
This is totally off topic, but they need metal detectors. I think they need metal detectors. Because I'm scared I'm going to punch the wrong guy and he's going to whip out a gun or a knife.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
They should do what they did in Chicago. Chicago, we had to take off our... Benji had to take off his jacket. They had to look at his jacket. They had to look at his pockets and everything. For me, I was wearing such tight clothes. They're like, I think we could see everything. And I went, thank you.
Would be good because...
They need to have searchers or metal detectors.
Somebody walked into that club in Florida and shot a bunch of gay people. So.
Wasn't that a while back?
Yeah, the Pulse nightclub.
Pulse, yeah.
Shooting, like, maybe at, like, areas
or
like
just
that,
in general.
We should, like, large group things, like...
If it's not... I think every bar should have one.
Yeah.
You mix alcohol and somebody with a gun or a knife, never good.
Yeah.
Whether it's women to men or men to men, it can stop a lot of weaponed fights. Obviously, you can't take away somebody's hands.
Yeah.
Unless we go to the back days where they do something bad, we take their hands off. Can we do that? That'd be fun.
Please,
let's go back to the time where we could cut people's hands off because they stole a piece of bread.
That's a little...
But it's only for the only time we do that is only for people who are not doing it for a good reason.
Yeah.
Like if it's like somebody who's homeless stealing food, fuck, please do.
Yeah.
Just please do. We won't cut off your hands. But if you are a middle-aged man touching a 21-year-old, hands off. Or penis. Ooh, that might be better. Let's just do penis.
Castrate them. Let's go. Why is that? I know we can't do like capital punishments and all that. But why can that not be a thing for like, pedophiles, assaulting people, like, any kind of assault that's just no more.
You can't physically, well, because they can still do it.
Take their hands too. No penis, no hands.
No head?
No head. Yeah.
Just one by one. Escalation.
Yeah.
Offense 1 is penis. Offense 2 is hands. Offense 3 is head.
This is why if I was a succubus, those are the people I'm taking out to survive and live.
Just be Batman.
I'm gonna kill them.
Just turn into Batman.
I'm just gonna eat them, yeah.
No, turn into Batman. Be a vigilante.
Yeah, be a vigilante. No, I was talking about, like, if I'm a succubus and I have to survive off of men or, like, women, those are the people.
The worst of the worst.
Going for, yeah. Let's bring them to prison.
I'm here!
But I gotta find the people who were, like, rightfully convicted, not the people who got thrown in there wrongly. So. Like,
yeah, but how do you find that out?
I need to become, like, a detective or...
Okay, detective by day.
Yeah.
Succubus by night. Yeah. Succubus vigilante by night.
There we go. Solved it. But yeah, anyways.
We went on a huge story.
Back to the movie. We are rounding out time here.
1:45
minutes, but another part that I wanted to talk about was I think it's interesting that what happens to Jennifer, like, I think there's an interesting thing going on of the idea of a virgin. I think we talked about it a little bit, being like, she's not the best person, she's not a virgin, but, like, these things that happen to her still, like,
suck.
Like, aren't okay. And I think there's just something really interesting about how she gets a demon that is related to sexuality. Mm-hmm. So, like, her sexuality is, like, her power or, like, her weapon, like we talked about. So I think that's interesting. I don't quite know what to make of that exactly, but I think that's fascinating.
It's probably because she wasn't a virgin.
Yeah.
So they were trying to, when you kill a non-virgin for Satan, then a succubus takes over, because they're not technically, in the sense of religion, pure.
Yeah.
So a demon would take over.
Yeah. Which, like, Jennifer, of course, like, she's our kind of villain, because she's murdering boys and she's murdering people that Needy likes and eventually tries to murder Needy. But I think there's also something to be said about how she uses her sexuality, like, for her, not for the gaze of, the gaze of the men in the movie world.
Yeah.
But not for the gaze of men, audience-wise. Like, her sexuality is, like, hers, and, like, what she utilizes, it's not for the pleasure of the man, I guess, is where I'm trying to go with that.
Yeah.
So,
I would say, damn, I just had something and I lost it.
Let's
say. It triggered something.
Like, I kind of wanted, like, as long as Jennifer wasn't gonna kill Needy, because I like Needy, I kind of didn't want Jennifer to die. I kind of wanted her just to, like, continue to live. But maybe, focus your feeding on not, like, people that, like, not poor Colin, because, like, what did he ever do? But I'm kind of like...
They become a tag team, because she got bit, so they're, like, Batman and Robin.
Like, I wish Jennifer would have been the one to kill the indie rock band. Like, I don't know why she didn't think
it's a revenge.
Like,
twinge thing.
Yeah, like, go after them.
I think by doing that, though, by having her kill bad people,
she becomes
good.
The hero,
which is not good.
Yeah.
Because she's supposed to have a demon in her. Demons aren't.
Yeah, that's true.
But I remember what I was going to say. Saying she was a villain. I think she's an antagonist.
Yeah.
But I don't think she's the main antagonist. I think the main antagonist was the indie band.
Because they're the ones who made all this.
They did it for selfish reasons.
Yeah.
And they were willing to kill someone. They're all sociopaths, by the way.
They fucked all their lives, even though they didn't know that Jennifer was going to become a succubus. It's like, they're the ones who murdered her. So they technically took her life, even though she comes back. Mm-hmm. She ends up murdering, like, boys because they let a demon essentially, like, run loose, and it's all for selfish reasons. Like, it wasn't, like, to save my loved one, maybe I'll go to Satan.
It wasn't a good reason.
I want to be an indie rock band. I'm like, you can just,
SoundCloud.
You can work hard on it, or you can have that be your hobby and go just, get a different job. We don't need to be going to Satan.
It's just a big leap. It's just
and
Satan.
You mentioned as well, because I think the books that they have are, occult and, witch, about how they're,
They're dark witches.
Yeah.
Dark witchcraft. Which I don't mess with.
Yeah.
I'm Wiccan. We don't mess with dark magic. Because dark magic is, it's not Satanism, but it's using, it's so there's different types. There's white, there's green, there's black, and then there's other types. Nowadays, we don't say black magic, we say dark magic. Because, saying black magic, there's kind of that connotation, that black bad.
Yeah.
Which is not true. So now it's more dark magic, but it's basically using witchcraft in a way for selfish reasons.
Yeah.
Because there's also green and white witchcraft that are about selfish reasons too. I want to get a better job. I want to have more money. I want good health. So those are selfish reasons. But with dark magic, it's more of the extent, I want to basically ruin somebody else's life for my pleasure. So I want them dead. That would be dark magic. Or manipulating people. That would also be dark magic. Sacrificing humans, it probably was dark magic in the day, but people automatically write that off as Satanism too, which nowadays Satanism isn't like that. And actually, I found out that, the Satan wave or the Satanist wave or that whole thing.
Satanic panic.
Satanic panic.
That's one of my favorite things.
That thing wasn't real. It wasn't grounded in realism. There wasn't Satanism like that happening.
That's why it was a panic, because it wasn't
it was just kids being kids.
It got
being
misconstrued, and then it became.
Yeah, it was dark magic is a thing. Dark magic was used, but the satanic panic wasn't really happening. There wasn't really any human sacrifices. It was more of just people killing people.
So wild, because of course it gets turned into religion and being
or kids just being kids and wanting to be edgy, so they'd be Satanism is cool, dark magic is cool, that shit. But dark magic also connects to unorthodox things, such as talking to spirits, talking to beyond the grave. That can also be seen as dark magic because it's unnatural to when somebody passes to talk back to them. That's why I will never touch an Ouija board. There's dark magic all in it. A Luigi? A
Wega board?
A Wega? No, I will not. I would want a board, but I wouldn't dare put my fingers on that thing. I'm not doing it. I want a board because I think those look cool aesthetically.
Somebody could touch it, though.
No, they would need it needs to be, no, there's a very specific way of conducting them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just touch it, you just put your fingers on it, that shit doesn't work. It's an actual ritual that you do.
Don't have a planchette because somebody could see that in your house and be like, I'm going to do it.
Well, that's fine. Here's the thing. They can touch it. They can move it and
no,
shit
I mean,
that.
that'd be I am going to.
If they do here's the thing. The ritual is intense, so it takes a little bit of time. I would be able to stop it.
To, get the fuck out of my house.
You need candles. You need a certain amount of people. You need to turn it a certain amount of times. You need to say a certain phrase and everything. So, I wouldn't mind having a board and a planchette, planted on a board, but I wouldn't, take it down for any reason. I wouldn't mess with it. But there's a very specific ritual for them. The books that they had, besides the Satan one, but there was one that was, the Occult World or something like that. The Occult World, that one would be a normal book that some people might have, whether green, white, or dark. Those ones are... that one's a typical one.
Yeah.
Just learning about the occult and everything.
Which I think, though, that these guys, like, they are not even really interested in what the book actually is. They're just trying to find that one thing that they can
make them
use.
famous.
So they're still, like, they're capitalizing on things, like, yeah, I don't think they had actually any, like, interest in it. They're just,
I'm just saying the accuracy of the books.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, though, is they, like, that book, probably, like, they saw it and they're like, this will show us how to sacrifice Satan, which is
honestly, I think that book is more of a history book.
Yeah, which they printed it, so I don't think they even got it from that. He said, I got this from the web, like, the internet is where he got his fucking, like, sacrifice to Satan ritual.
Yeah. Well, actually, fun fact, two things. One, the Occult World book, I think that's more of a history of, like, Wicca and how it came to be and how it grew, and probably has some excerpts about the Salem witch trials or witch trials like it. But it's mostly about the history. I have a book that isn't as big and like that, and it's not called The Occult World. It's just basically a beginner's guide to Wicca, so kind of just learning about the history of it. And then the printed out stuff, that's actually interesting. That is a real thing. Yeah, there are online guides and online spell books that you can use. Or you can actually buy actual books of spell books. There's also a thing called a grimoire. That is, so there's spell books and then there's grimoires. Spell books are made by an author or made by somebody who's Wiccan.
Grimoires?
Can I finish?
Yeah, sorry.
What do you think a grimoire is?
Well, because in the Vampire Diaries, they use.
What is a grimoire?
And at least in the Vampire Diaries, it's like a witch's, like, actual spell book. Like, their spells, they write them down to remember them and keep them. And so it's, like, written by the witches, so that way they have all of their spells in one book. Yeah.
That is a grimoire. Never mind. Vampire Diaries kind of got it right. Yeah, so a spell book is produced by a Wiccan writer. It could work for the person. It could not work for the person. So it's a general. Then a grimoire is you can take those spell books, but you can personalize them to your own needs, wants, and everything. Or if, like, per se, you have a really strong connection to a certain stone, so you implant that stone somewhere in that spell book, and it works for you. So it's a very personalized spell book. Now, the thing I think Vampire Diaries probably got wrong is a grimoire is so sacred to a witch, they will never show it to somebody. It is so sacred to that one witch, they will not pass it on to the next witch in the family. They will not. They could if they wanted to keep passing it on. But because it's so personalized, it's so sacred to that one witch that it's never shown. It's usually hidden. It's most likely locked. A lot of grimoires are locked by a key or some kind of code, so somebody can't break into it. Well, spell book is open. I have a spell book that I have on display. Not really display, it's in my book. But I have a grimoire notebook. I just haven't had time to really go into spells and look into them. Plus, also, it does cost money to get the supplies and everything. But it's very personalized. They never show it. And the thing also with grimoires are they're, again, so personalized that you don't just get a book. You just don't get a random notebook. You don't get any, like, Wiccan notebook. You have to gravitate to that grimoire book. So it could be a very, very fancy book, or it can be a very, like, low-key notebook that has just a Wiccan symbol. That's what I have because that's what I connected to. So it's very, you need to feel that connection. It's like tarot card reading. You have to feel that connection to pick out a card. You need to feel that connection to a certain grimoire book. Or even just somebody buying tarot cards, you need to have a certain connection to that tarot card set to actually pick it out. So I literally, for my tarot card set, took me... It's okay. It took me 3 weeks to find the tarot cards that I wanted because I finally connected to a tarot card set that I really liked and that I really gravitated to, that I knew I had some type of connection. And it was very expensive. I got an expensive tarot card box. Yeah. But I love it. It's great. I'm going to whip them out for you tonight.
I definitely think that those guys, though. They're just trying to capitalize on whatever.
Yeah, they are not true Wiccans.
Which is, like, kind of sad. Like, of course it's a movie, but, like, I could see those kind of guys being like, how can I use this and, like, find what I selfishly need for
That had to be on the dark web. I don't think that would be
just
on...
Google.
Sacrificing human to
Sacrifice
Satan.
virgin for,
Profit.
That's
like, that sounds like, what is that called? Snuff film. So maybe not that.
It's just like, what
to
were
be famous.
they Googling? Like, they had, like, books, and of course, it's not going to be in there, so they just turned to Google, and they're like, how can I sacrifice virgin to Satan for my own, like, personal, like, selfish needs? And I'm just, like, wondering, like, of course, they offered something to Satan, but if I was Satan, I would be like, I don't care about
Can I
you
please
guys.
have chicken instead?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't care
I haven't had chicken in ages. Please just send me some KFC.
It's funny to think about. I'm like, because they say the results still can happen even if you do the ritual incorrectly, like they did with Jennifer, so that's why they get famous still. If I was Satan, I'd be like, I don't care about y'all.
That's why
Needy
came back.
You didn't even do the ritual.
You didn't even give me a virgin. What the hell?
Like, get out of here. You're not gonna be famous on mine. Yeah, they definitely are the true villain. Definitely Adam Brody. I think his band, they're a villain too, but I think they just follow him because you see him being like,
they're mid.
He kind of like, I don't know. He seems a bit like he kind of pressures them into things too. Because the one guy's like, I don't know if I want to do that. He's like, no, we have to. Do you want to work?
But it's still their selfishness that makes them.
Yeah. So like, I think he's the head leader of the.
He's a head selfish bitch.
Yeah, but yeah.
So should we do one thing we like, one thing we wish improved? I already have mine.
Yeah.
One, what I really liked is I liked having the table split and the woman being powerful and killing men. I loved it. It was fantastic. It helps my revenge brain tickle out a little bit. The thing I wish they improved, and I'm strong on this one.
Get rid of Chip. I'm just kidding.
No. Keep Chip.
Fuck Chip.
No. Keep Chip. Kill Chip. Let Colin live.
That's what you...
They should have not touched Colin.
Should have turned into like...
She should have dated Colin after Chip died.
Yeah, like Colin makes it out.
He fights with Needy.
Yeah.
I need it.
Let's go.
Anyways, what one thing you like, one thing you wanted to improve?
Yeah, one thing I like is literally the same. Like, that's why I think I was really drawn to this movie is the roles being flipped, and especially being a 6th grader, being like, oh, like, women can have power even though, you know, it's a demonic power. Like, she's still powerful, and her sexuality is her weapon, and I liked seeing that, and I think that really, even though it was also my sexual awakening, there was always that thing in me, like, being a young tween girl, being like, yeah, like, women, like, can be the, you know, the powerful one, and it's, like, not a man being, like, the killer of women. So yeah, I like that.
And it was a woman who saved the day.
Yeah, and a woman saved the day.
And she was the final girl too.
Yeah, so like it's all about women. So yeah,
beautiful.
That's my like. I think the thing that I would change is I would like more like knowledge about the succubus, because I kind of just gloss over that really quick. Where they're like, you know, like Needy reads a book to find out, and it's like I want to know more, like, or
the
at least
reason behind.
Yeah, seeing more, like, or going along with that, I want to know more of how the succubus and Jennifer work together. Like, how much of it is succubus and how much is still Jennifer? Like, is it just controlling her body, and because it's Jennifer's body, it has, like, her personality, or is Jennifer still there? I think they say that the soul and the demon share, but I'm like, is Jennifer really, like, was she this mean? Because we don't get a whole lot of pre-succubus Jennifer. Like, just more succubus knowledge I would like to see.
You also wanted Jennifer to kill the man instead of Needy.
Yeah. Which, you know, I wish Jennifer could have lived, and then they could have just, you know, she bit Needy, and then they just
go kill the indie man together.
Oh, that's another thing I would change, is let us see the brutal deaths of the indie band. Like, I think I see this a lot, like, in comments and stuff like that, is why did we just show pictures of them die? Like my revenge fantasy, I want to see those guys get ripped apart. And
they were the reason.
Yeah, I want to see it. I don't want to just see pictures.
And you got so mad that Adam Brody's character was just stabbed.
Yeah, I'm like, let us see the carnage. They like really fucked up this town, capitalized off this town. Killed a teenage girl.
They probably started the fire for all we know.
Ended up getting teenage boys killed, and like they fucked people's lives up. And just I want to see them brutally murdered. Okay, my revenge fantasy needed to see them ripped apart.
Please,
yeah,
do it again. Remake it.
But
everything's the same except we see the ending scene more graphic.
Yeah,
remastered. No, what is that? Unrated.
Yeah, let us see them torn apart. I want to see those guys in fear, okay? I'm sorry,
Lyrica's going off right now.
Yeah.
There's a determination in your eyes.
Yeah, well, it's like, how we talked about last week, that I let out my anger through, movies and stuff like that. I just want to see them guys torn apart.
On that note... We're going to end it because Lyrica has to eat and it's 8:20.
I'm hungry, yes.
And I still have to do card reading
I got buffalo chicken. I'm so excited.
All right, you want to end it?
Yeah.
Go.
Don't be an Edward.
And
be a Colin.
Go watch Friends, the TV show. Not your actual friends.
Unless you want to.
Lyrica's watching Friends now.
I am, yes.
You're welcome.
I'm sitting at the foot of Tessa's bed and watching.
She's watching it literally when I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
At my bed.
Yeah, I'm just...
like Edward.
Yeah.
Maybe don't do that anymore.
We'll see.
Oh, gosh.
I'm just in your room at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, terrifying, but okay. You're lucky that I like you as Edward. Debbie Ryan. All right. And cut. Bitch. That didn't pick up at all.